Hey everyone, Paul Uhl here with Chase Bliss Audio. Let's have a look at how to connect your MIDI cables with your Boss ES-8 and Empress MIDI Box and Chase Bliss pedals. Okay, what you see before you is one completed MIDI chain going from the Boss ES-8 through the Empress MIDI Box into the Chase Bliss warped vinyl. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Look at that thing. Let's tackle this beast. What you're going to need to get this job done is your Boss ES-8, a Chase Bliss modified Empress MIDI box, and a Chase Bliss pedal. Alright, on the back of your Boss ES-8, you're going to see a MIDI output right there. You're going to connect a standard MIDI cable into that output. And if you've ever used MIDI effects before, you always just took this and went straight into the side of the MIDI effect. That doesn't work here because this is a different type of MIDI input. This is a TRS input. So what you need to make that work is a Chase Bliss modified Empress MIDI box. You go out of your ES-8 into the input of the MIDI box. And now you have 1/4-inch jacks on both sides. And you can go between the two by simply using a TRS cable. Any TRS cable will work. You can go into any one of these ports. They're all the same. And there it is. That's one completed MIDI chain between a Boss ES-8 and a Chase Bliss Warp Vinyl Mark II. But I just wanted to touch on something really quick to make sure that you're getting a good MIDI connection. Go into your edit and it will say patch, press enter. Now scroll through until you are at MIDI channel 5. That's what the warp vinyl is by default. Press enter. And you have a couple of options here. Channel, we want to put channel 5. We can ignore the next two. I don't even know what they are. PC, that's program change, but think of that. I try to make my brain think of that as preset change. Then I just think of presets. That's your preset number. So if you were saving this as preset 15, just push the button up to 15 and move it on to the next page. By default, the Boss ES-8 goes to a CC number of 80 and a value of 0. For Chase Bliss to engage or disengage, we need the CC value to be at 102. To engage, we need the value to be at 127 for on and 0 for off. We want this to turn on. Here's the hot tip of the day. Anyone who has one of these knows that even when you press and hold, it just takes forever for that number to get to 127. See, it took that long. Let me show you an easier way. See how quickly I got back down to 0? If you press and hold plus while tapping minus, it jumps by 10. And you can very quickly get to 127. If you want to go back down, press and hold minus and tap the plus and it will jump by 10 as well. Hot tip of the day. When I found that out, I was like ready to have a party. Next page, we can ignore this. I'm going to get that down to off. And let's review these pages real quick. So we have channel 5, off, off. We're going to save it to preset slot 15. CC value of 102 to engage and disengage. 127 is the value to engage the pedal. Second page is just off. At this point, I'm going to write that to my first preset. And there it is. Let me dim the lights really quick so we can see these LEDs a little better. All right, let's give this thing a quick test. So if we go over to preset 2 and manually disengage the pedal, now when we press 1, the LED here should light, indicating that the pedal is engaging. And there it is. The center button also lit up, telling us that we're in a MIDI preset. All right, so what if you're that lucky dude that's got a Boss ES-8 and 4 Chase Bliss pedals? How do you connect all that? Well, honestly, it's just as easy as connecting one. You just do it 4 times. So you're going to need 4 TRS cables. And literally connecting it up is just doing the same thing 4 times. Well, there it is. I know it's kind of messy, but that's what it looks like. 4 pedals connected into 4 control ports of the Empress MIDI box. Any of these pedals can be assigned to any MIDI channel that you like on the Boss ES-8. And it doesn't matter which control port you've connected to. They all send the same signal. Now, the warped vinyl by default is set to MIDI channel 5. But let's say for you, you wanted it as MIDI channel, let's just say 6. Here's how you would do that. Go into the edit menu. First thing you're going to see is patch. You want to enter that. Scroll through until you start to see the MIDI. We're going to assign it to MIDI channel 6. Press enter. Make sure it's set to channel 6. I picked an arbitrary number of 15. You want 102 for the CC, 127 for the value that turns the pedal on. The rest is just set to off. In your manual, for the Warped Vinyl Mark II, it says to change the channel, you disconnect power, hold down the 2 switches at power up, and then let go. The pedal is now looking for the first MIDI signal that it sees, and it will set itself to that channel. If I've entered everything correctly here, now when I go to write this, the pedal engages. It is now set to MIDI channel 6. I'm going to do all that over again to go back to MIDI channel 5. I'm going to set MIDI channel 6 to off. Set MIDI channel 5 to on. Channel 5. Make sure my parameters are the same. They are. I powered the pedal off. Hold down both switches. Restore power. And now when I write this, it goes to the pedal. And now when I test, the pedal activates, showing me that it's changed to MIDI channel 5.